Hey, it's Chris from the Chris Stefanic Show. We dive into how to live a more joyful life every day, the kind of life that God created you for. Check it out. There's that silent war that happens after the war, right? Where you're not only struggling for, okay, what's my why? Which is a Christian, no love and serve God in this life, be happy with Him forever in the next, right? You're struggling to find that new identity in Christ, but then you're struggling with wounds that came from war that also lead us closer to God when we don't lose the true north, right?
Correct.
I want to talk about that with you a little, man, and your incredible resilience. Tell me about Extortion 17.
So that was still to this day the biggest loss of life in the war on terror.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. I literally served with all those guys. I mean, if you don't know what it is, Google it real quick. You'll find out really quick. Don't get caught up in the conspiracy. But the bottom line is you had all these men willing to jump on a helo to go back up their brothers that were in a contact. They were in a bad spot. And so I've been in so many different situations like that where we would stand by for anybody that needed it. And it didn't matter what level we were at. It's like, look, if you were in a fight and you needed backup, we were the first ones that were going to go try to get in the fight. In fact, we had people fighting against us. They responded that night, and that helo got hit and ended up going down. Those guys on that helo, I was close to just about every one of them that was in my squadron. The deployment before, again, by the grace of God, I had the opportunity to actually be with that troop. And so I went and I operated with those guys almost every week at least,
So you knew them like brothers,
if not every other night. Like Matt Mills was like a sparring partner to me. John Foss, we went and did Thai boxing in Holland. I mean, all these guys I have these intimate relationships with. So I was blessed to know all of them so well. And when that helo went down, I mean, talk about an emotional roller coaster. I was actually home. This is a whole other part of the story, but I was home and I was supposed to be on that deployment. Not with those guys because I was with another troop, but I had deployed with them the previous deployment. So they separated, but I stayed home to take care of my mother, which had cancer. And I'm taking care of her.
And that's why you're sitting here right now. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, I'm here because God's transformed my life through this whole experience. But being with those guys and that helo going down, it changed my life forever. And I know how many lives it impacted. Just saying that's the biggest loss of life in the war on terror, period. So many people that didn't understand loss really looked in and be like, whoa, this is a lot deeper than we thought. You have these tier 1 guys training their whole lives and boom, they just get ripped away from us. The intensity of that and going funeral after funeral after funeral.
Oh, they're all living in one place. Like all of a sudden, everybody's dad is gone.
I was looking at the kids of my brothers, going up to these funerals day after day after day. And you start to ask yourself, the question of like, man, these guys got ripped away. It's like, what are we doing this for? Why are we really showing up every single day? And to me, the word honor just started to punch me in the face and in the gut the whole time.
Wow.
How am I going to honor these guys? Because if I had a hard time understanding truly what honor meant until I lost them, and even losing guys before, like I had a glimpse, but that really opened my eyes to what honoring the guys that have gone before us really meant. And I was like, I have to live this out. I have to live this out every single day, trying to fill their shoes and trying to live a life that they'd be proud of because they were that intense, but they also left children and wives and family members here. Like so many of us know people that have lost somebody else that have gone before us. But these guys being the pinnacle of a warrior, I had to start reconciling what it meant to live in that way. How do I honor them? And I think that that's really when my heart was starting to be torn open. I mean, I was in a really deep and dark place throughout that time, trying to reconcile. I mean, I was literally going through those guys' cages with all their gear that they use, trying to figure out what to do with their gear, And if you can imagine having to do that with all the guys that are like your brothers, it was tough. But it was purposeful. And that's the hunt that I realized that I found a deeper sense of purpose living for them and living for their lives to try to carry that on. And I think that that's what all of us are doing here. We're all carrying on the foundation that's been set for us to be here. We're not here by accident. Like each one of us is here because of a specific set of circumstances that have been laid down for you to have the life, the health, the everything that you have, the ability to wake up every day.
Amen.
And it's that precious to me. And those guys really opened my heart to that. And then coupling that with faith. But Extortion 17 was a huge part of my life and who I am today. And there are so many guys, so many warriors that did such amazing things and have such amazing family members, even right now and to this day, that are continuing to change the world. I believe that, it was purposeful for a lot of different reasons, and figuring that out and even helping to give back to those communities today.
Smash the subscribe button. Crush, smash, demolish the subscribe button if you want a more joyful life.